All right, let's bring in former Pentagon official Mike Maloof to discuss Trump's bold statements, ominous statements. Mike, what do you make of the president's remarks?
He seems to be giving a benefit of the doubt, some breathing space. He pointed out that there may have been a miscue on the part of the IRGC. And in fact, when you look at it, the IRGC is split. First of all, with its own government, but secondly, within the IRGC, it clearly shows that there is a more radical element that's leading the IRGC now than a few months ago. However, we still don't know the track of that drone, and so the question then arises: what's Trump's response going to be? And now we know that he's called in the congressional leadership to come on in for a briefing in the Situation Room this afternoon.
Yeah.
That's ominous, but I do recall back in the Cuban Missile Crisis, back in '62, we had a U-2 pilot lost. There was no pilot on this aircraft.
Right.
President Kennedy President Kennedy did not respond to that U-2 aircraft being shot down by a SAM on Cuba, but it allowed for a breathing space for more discussions. Now that's, I think, going to be the hope, because we are at a precipice now. We're almost there, and in this case, it was a mechanical thing. There was no human life lost.
Right.
But we need to have more information on what was the track of that drone, and the fact that it's even there. You don't see Iranian drones flying out of Cuba going along the Gulf Coast. You don't see that. However, and our reaction would be apoplectic. We would go nuts if that happened.
So the IRGC, obviously they confirmed that they shot down this this RQ-4 Global Hawk. There's no qualms about that.
And they could have attacked any number of bases or things like that, because they've threatened to do that. But no, they just shot this down. They haven't gone into other bases or other U.S. assets. It was a very controlled thing.
Do you view that as a warning to the U.S.?
I think it was a warning. I think it was a warning. I don't know that it was so much a mistake, but I think it does reflect internally more of a hardened IRGC element now that's calling the shots.
I mean, do they? Obviously, we know that John Bolton here would apparently love to go to war with Iran.
There's no war he doesn't like. I mean,
that's right. But do they have a Bolton of their own in the IRGC?
Yes, they just put him in, Salami. He was selected to be the head of IRGC because he is. I mean, he was the one who was advocating months ago for blockading the Straits.
Oh, it was him.
Yes.
Okay, so now we have a Bolton versus
and here's the other problem. We don't, unlike
Bolton.
Before during the Obama administration, which the JCPOA or the Iranian agreement allowed, we had a channel of communication. Now almost everything is cut off. The best that we have are back channels, making it much more precarious and much more difficult.
When you say back channels, what do you mean?
By having somebody be able to come in and pass messages back and forth with the leadership. We even had back channels during the height of the Cuban Missile Crisis, and we don't have that today with Iran.
The communication's just been killed.
Basically severed, yeah. Now, we have the Swiss. Now, we have the Swiss. The Swiss represent U.S. interests in Iran. Our messages probably are going to be flowing back and forth there.
Shinzo Abe was just there.
And yes, but his whatever points that Trump wanted to make were rejected. Consequently, and there's reason for that, because Trump basically abrogated an agreement that Iran was in full compliance with.
Right.
So you can see where they're coming from. This really represents a major dilemma. There's got to be better channels of communication opened up, and Trump has got to give, I think, notwithstanding the fact that this was shot down and it's a U.S. asset, we got to back off a little bit and show some restraint.
Cool off a little bit.
Chill it, yeah. Just chill a little bit and not listen to Bolton. Bolton would love this. This is what I'm really concerned about. He was involved in the 2003 attack on Iraq, and I just see history repeating itself.
And CENTCOM released this grainy video footage just moments ago of them claiming that this is proof, quote unquote, proof that they were flying over international waters, but it's really just a bunch of grainy, grayscale.
We have no clue at what location. I think the radar tracks leading up to that are really going to be important. Iran should publish whatever it has, and the U.S. should publish what it has, so that we can, so the world can see just what the track was. And you're talking about an area that is very, very narrow, and the fact that that drone was even flying there in order for it to gain the maximum of recon that it wants to achieve, it's got to come very close to that border in order to see what lights up in terms of radars and missile defense systems.
Like you said, testing the waters.
They are.
All right, we will have to see.
And that's a provocation.
We will have to see how this plays out. It looks like it's playing out very quickly.
Yes.
Mike Maloof, as always, appreciate your expertise. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.